Hey everybody, this is Dennis Becker with another in our series of weekly web chats. I'm very privileged today to have Kelly McCausey with me today. I met Kelly um, a little bit over a year ago in the 2013 Earn 1K a Day seminar. She was an attendee there, and I had heard a lot about her before that from some of my friends, and uh, I was very happy to finally meet her in person. And then she agreed to actually be a speaker at the seminar in 2014, this year. And unfortunately, that was the one that I couldn't go to because I had um, gone in the hospital a couple weeks before the seminar itself. But I had her up as one of the keynote speakers because I heard that she could really get a crowd uh, revved up and on their feet and inspired. And the feedback I had from the seminar itself, from her session, confirmed that. I got to listen to the recording, but recordings are never as great as being there in person. So I'd been talking to her the last week or so, getting ready for this chat, and I found out that she's responsible for either mentoring or coaching or inspiring some of the top people, some of my friends, and that was a surprise. But well, not a big surprise, but she's probably too shy to talk about it. But maybe not. She can if she wants. Um, but before we get started, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. And if Kelly, if you can say a few words, make sure people can hear you too, and then we'll wait for the yeses hopefully to start streaming into the chat box.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks for having me here. I sure did miss you in Las Vegas when I did get to speak at your event, but you know, it felt a little bit like a wake the way that they had your picture everywhere.
Oh yeah, that was sort of spooky when I saw that the first time.
Yeah.
Kind of carrying around that framed picture, seeing it in front of the buffet table, and it was like it was a funeral, like a wake, like you say. Yeah, I missed it, but I'll be there this coming year, 2015. I don't have the date set up yet, but I'll be there. I'm not going to let that happen to me again.
Good. Good to hear it.
So let's see. We got a bunch of people here. Um, if you guys can just type in. Rick says yes, so I guess it means he can hear us, and I'm sure others will be chiming in too.
Good.
So today's talk, Kelly's going to be talking to us about challenges, and challenges is always something that really resonates with me. I go into sometimes too long periods where I get stagnant when there's nothing that really makes me want to go out and do something new and exciting. Maybe um, the income is enough, and things are going fine, and I don't want to shake up the whatever. Um, and I find that I have to really get into a situation where maybe it's a little bit of stress. Maybe that's stress is sometimes good, stress is sometimes bad when it's too much. But stress is to me something that you have to live with, and you have to acknowledge, and you have to really embrace sometimes. And getting yourself challenged in whatever way, either physically or mentally or whatever, um, is good. And Kelly's going to talk to us about some of the success she's had in running challenges for people in her area of influence. So, Kelly, I'm going to let you take it away and let me know if you need anything from me.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks again, Dennis. This is so much fun. I was just really excited to talk about this because, so let me give you guys the background. 3 years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago, I did this little fun impromptu challenge on my blog. I published a giant list of specific activities. I mean, it was just huge. And I created it as a checklist. And I basically dared my readers and my podcast listeners to do everything on the list. And if they would do every single thing on the list, check it off, and then let me know, then they would receive some sort of gift from me. And I don't remember right now what the gift was, if it was a discount on coaching or if it was access to a product. I don't remember. But it was very casual. It was free to participate in. It was a lot of fun, and my readers really got into it. Very few people actually finished the challenge, though, I gotta say. But a lot of people wrote and said, I didn't get to the end, but I still did way more than I would have done if you hadn't dared me. So I'm still glad I did it. So the next time I reformed the Stretch Yourself Challenge, I asked people to pay to be part of it. I figured making it available for free was probably the mistake. It felt too common. Even though there was a reward at the end, they had no skin in the game. So maybe if they had to pay me to participate, they would get more excited about it. And they did. I had people join the challenge, and I had quite a few people finish the challenge and have fun with it. But I still knew I could do better. I got a vision of a better way to do it. One of the things is having one big long list of things to do. Everything on the list, it just can't be appropriate for everyone. And so when I brought the challenge back last year, I created several distinct challenges, and I told the challengers, pick and choose the challenges that suit you. And I rated them by intimidation factor and by the amount of time it would take them. And I encourage them, if you're not sure which challenge you'd like to take, pick the one that you've never done before. Start there. And so it was a lot of fun. It was really cool because they could pick one thing and finish it. So lots of people, I want to say 75% of the people finished something in that challenge. And so I brought it back again this year. I'm actually just now wrapping it up. The 2014 Stretch Yourself Challenge had 104 people in it, and 70 of them actively participated in the forum, and a lot of them have finished something. I stepped it up. I created some more challenges. One thing I did between last year and this year was I took all the transcripts from the previous year and I used it to create a book, because my ultimate goal is to release a self-study version of the challenge so that you don't have to wait for me to run the challenge again. You could just take the set of challenges and run with it. So I had done that. I had worked on putting as much into text as possible. So this time I didn't have to teach them so much about the challenges. I could just say, here's the book, read this, and then just come and ask questions when you want to. So that's what I did this time, and it has been an amazing hit. But here's the thing. This is what, especially this time, I saw, and probably because it's just I had more people. Last year I probably had 60 people in the challenge. This year was 104. People love to be challenged. People love to be dared. So many of us, I know this is true of myself, I know I'm capable of so much, but sometimes you just need someone to come along and be a little bit of an instigator. You need someone to come along and say, hey, I dare ya. So in this challenge, it's a content marketing challenge. There were 9 distinct challenges that they could choose from. And the thing was, you don't just do it, you have to do it and promote it like crazy. The whole idea being that you know something that other people need to know, or you can do something other people need to have done for them. You have an answer that someone needs. You have a solution someone needs. You have a message someone needs. But they don't know about you, so they can't take advantage of it. And so they're finding other people who are not half as good as you. Just because they were more visible, that can't be allowed to continue. You've got to put yourself out there. So the whole point of the challenge is that I'm saying, come on, people need you. That's, it's like, I feel like it's my job to convince you, to make you realize you've got to step it up. You've got to stretch yourself and be more visible out there in the world. You've got to tell people who you are, what you can do, and what you want them to do about it. So that's the call to action in the challenge. Now pick one of these challenges and put it into action. Now, people get real excited. I can jazz you up. I can get you fired up. I can tell you all the reasons why now is the time to get your message out there bigger and bolder than ever before. I can call you into a challenge and get you all excited. Yes, let's do it. Let's storm the gates. Let's make the whole world know how awesome we are. But then once you get there, you've got to do the work. And so, Dennis, I know you mentioned, we were chatting yesterday, you've done challenges before and you've been a little frustrated with lack of participation.
Yeah, I have. I've done a number of them in Insider and 1K a day. Some of them have worked out really well. Some of them haven't. And I know one of the ones we did after I first met you, we had a challenge to do a podcast a day for a month, right? And there was only a handful of people that took on that challenge. I was one of them, and I didn't do it. And myself, just life got in the way, or other things got in the way, and I really felt bad about that. But yeah, I don't know whether I'm just not a good cheerleader, or like you said, people aren't paying for it, so there's no skin in the game. And if they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. Kind of mentality. But
I think the skin in the game issue is huge. And you have a forum that people have already paid to be part of. I do too. I have solo masterminds. I have members, they've been members for years. They're long paid for. And so one of the decisions I made is, even if you're a member of my forum, you still have to pay to be part of the challenge. I made it extra no matter what. Now, members could pay less. I did give them a deal. They paid less than the public, but they had to pay to get access to that section of the forum. So I just want to show you guys real quick. I'm going to share my screen with you. This is my forum. This is the forum that my members have access to on a regular basis. But right here, I created a section of the forum in my existing forum just for the Stretch Yourself Challenge. And so unless you paid for access to it, my other members, they can't get into this. They can't contribute to conversation. They can't, they can't participate. So definitely make them pay for it. Make them put skin in the game. But then I created a dedicated space for the forum. Some of you who will run challenges, you'll use a Facebook group. And that's okay. For a short-term challenge, it really is okay. But since I already have a forum, I'm of the opinion that everything I do should be at my house. If I did not have a forum, I would use a Facebook group. But because I do have one, I always play at my house. My rules, my culture, no distractions. So I set up my challenge. I gave everybody, I told them to start a diary thread. And so In here you can see there's 70 some diary threads. Everyone that participated has their own diary thread to report their progress. I set up a section for challenge discussions, and I have a section where every day I'm posting a little intimidation crusher, a daily encouragement aimed at everyone. One of the things about running a challenge, I charge, some people paid $47, some people paid $77, some people paid $97. I did that typical rolling price launch for access to it. At those prices, I can't be responding to 70 diary threads every day. Amen? But I can come into I can post an intimidation crusher. I can come in every day and post a message aimed at everyone to say, hey, you're awesome, you can do this. You know, I can talk about different intimidating things that the challenges are coming up against, and just point out that it doesn't have the power to hold them back. So this is a group challenge. This is not one-on-one coaching. So that by encouraging everybody in one place, I'm giving myself permission not to have to say, yay, rah, rah, to every person every day. Now, Dennis, so my members had to pay to participate. But then I thought, you know, my members who are used to being at the forum every day, I think they're the ones most likely to think of this as being too common. No big deal. It's just another section of the forum. I did not want to let that idea settle into anyone's mind. And the new people who aren't used to using a forum, I was a little worried about them making it a habit. And so I issued a dare on top of a dare. First of all, I emphasize every minute that I only celebrate finishers. I don't celebrate whiners and excuse makers. I celebrate finishers. And so because I'm putting this into a book, I said, I'm looking for finishers to add to my book as case studies. I want to feature you and celebrate you and make sure everyone knows how awesome you are. But I can only do that if you're a finisher. And then I dared them on top of the dare. On top of the dare to be a finisher, I dared them. I said, every day that you are active on the challenge forum, that's a 1% discount. So there's 31 days in the month of October. If you are active all 31 days, I'm going to give you a coupon code good for 31% off anything from Solo Smarts for the next year. That means 31% off of joining Solo Masterminds, 31% off joining a coaching program, 31% off any individual product, anything for a whole year. Now, some people might be thinking, hello, that's crazy, but What am I doing? I'm making myself a habit. I'm helping them to establish an amazing habit of being part of a tribe, of being an active participant, of just showing up and being reminded of what they committed to every day. And if they do that, if they actually show up every day for 31 days and take some action, these are the kind of people I want to work with. I want them in my masterminds. I want them in my coaching. I want them in my membership. I want them buying my product. They're action takers. They're finishers. I'm thrilled to pieces to knock 31% off the price of my stuff if it keeps them in my funnel. Does that make sense? Or does it just sound insane?
No, it makes sense to me. Who keeps track of the fact that they were there 31 days or 28 days or 25 days? Or
they are on their honor.
Okay.
So on the 31st, actually right now, I actually gave them permission yesterday to figure out their number, and that I would hold them on their honor that they would be active the final 3 days. But I'll know. I mean, if someone says, I'm 31 and I don't know them, I know there's a problem. But they're on their honor to report their number. So they just have to message us their number and we'll give them their own unique coupon code that's good for the next year to use on anything that they like. Of course, I'm making an offer right now for a Stretch Yourself Masterclass, which will be for a small number of people, but it's much more expensive. So that percentage can be applied to that. That's why I gave him permission to figure that number up now, because I'm pretty sure the Masterclass is going to fill up before Friday. So I wanted to just make sure that they jumped in if they really wanted to jump in. So I make them pay for it. I dared them. I gave them additional incentive. It doesn't have to be a percentage. It doesn't have to be a discount. It could be access to something else. It could be anything that is attractive to them. Anyone? What? Okay, so I've explained what the Stretch Yourself Challenge is and how it works and how I motivated them to participate. I made it win-win-win all the way. But there's another thing. I never let up on them for a second. I have been in their face, in their ears, in their forums, constantly calling them to action, constantly giving them the big rah-rah, celebrating the people who finish, making a big deal. We've had hot seat sessions all month long where I put someone on the hot seat and dig into how they're working their challenge and giving them ideas for how it can be better. And over and over and over again, I just keep saying, finishers are awesome. Finishers are attracted to other finishers. Finishers want to JV with other finishers. There's something I shared at your event, Dennis, and I actually had to turn my back to the crowd in order to say it because I didn't want any one person to think I was saying it to them. Because this is a really, really tough word. But here in this hangout, I can stare into the camera and I can say it without hiding. But here's the thing. If you are a chronic non-finisher, if you've had excuse after excuse, if you've been addicted to learning and you've never finished and launched anything, we are losing respect for you. We are getting the message. You are all talk and no action. You are all spend and no earn. We're losing respect for you. That should scare your pants off. And it should light a fire under your butt to doggone it finish something. I've been this intense with my challengers all month long. Because I know the resistance that you come up against. I know the intimidation that goes on inside your head. I know what happens in between the rah-rahs when you have to just do the work. And so I feel like it's my job to do nothing but push you, because you can do so much more than you realize. And you know it. But some of you just won't until someone else gets in your face and says, yes, I see it, you can do it, go for it. No excuses. So I've rid their butt every minute, and I'm proud of it. And because of it, the results are phenomenal. There are people in this challenge who they're just coming back to their diaries and they're just exploding. They're like, I have been more productive this month than I have the whole year. I've gotten more done today than I did all last month. I've made more connections. I've had more traffic. I've had more subscribers. I've had more whatever this month than ever before. And I know it's because I'm just finally promoting myself like crazy. I'm just finally going for it. You gave me permission. They just keep thanking me for giving them permission. And so it just got me thinking, this is not a promotion for Stretch Yourself Challenge at all, because the challenge is over in 2 days. You can't join it. You can buy the self-study guide if you want. Dennis has a link for that, because the pre-orders are available right now. But that's not what this hangout is about. Your people want to be challenged. You have people in your circle, in your niche, who are capable of so much, and they just need someone they respect to come along and dare them with a challenge. And so I want you to start brainstorming. Let's use this hangout time to brainstorm. What could you issue as a challenge to your people that would give them permission to stretch up to a new level, to be more successful, to finally finish something, or to do something bigger and better than before? So does anybody want to throw out, have you thought about having a challenge? Do you dream of doing something like that? Do you have an idea that you'd like to brainstorm with us? I mean, I love brainstorming topics.
So while we're waiting for people to type in their ideas, Kelly, I think you said you had 104 people in the challenge,
yeah.
and I saw there was something like 72 or 73 threads.
Yes.
How many people actually, if you can give a number, since it isn't quite over, but how many are the finishers?
It's really hard to count them right now, because many of them have finished more than one challenge. That's the thing with this different challenge choices. They could pick something small, they could pick something big. I'm really confident in saying that it's probably 60-70% of people who have truly finished something. This past weekend I went through the diaries and I poked all the quiet threads, and I was surprised there wasn't as many as I thought, but there's probably about 25% of the threads that had gone quiet. For one reason or another, they've wandered away, they haven't finished. That makes me a little crazy, but compared to what we know about our industry, Dennis, the number of people who buy a product and never even open it, I'm really proud of the response rate, the activity rate, and finishing rate of this challenge. But I will know come the 31st, I'll know exactly how many people finish something, because they're all every finisher is getting mentioned in the book. And people who have something unique about their finish, I'm going to make them case studies. So they're all getting credit for being finishers.
That's great. There's probably, though, 30 or 32 people that didn't even start a thread.
Yeah. Those are people who bought it. I don't even know why they did that. I just don't know why. I can't imagine signing up for something and then just never ever showing up. But that said, I know there are lots of people that they're just not joiners. They're self-study, they're time-shifted learners. They don't come to the webinar, they watch the replay. I know, and some of those are extremely productive people. So I don't want to judge them and say, they're not a finisher. I just don't know if they are.
Right. They may be so shy, they don't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to let anybody know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Divulging their niche or whatever. I don't know if people are actually pointing to the content that they're producing in your challenge or not, but they may not want to do that. They may be in the other side of the world, so if you're running webinars, they may not be able to attend, but they're still around. I mean, I know in my forum there's a lot of people that are what we call lurkers, and I don't say a lurker is a bad thing. It's just the way they are. But then there are the people that are the bright shiny object buyers that just buy it because it sounds so good and so attractive,
Mhm.
and yeah, I want to do this, and then when push comes to shove, they don't do it, and that's
Yeah.
um, why maybe I have a problem because I'm not as great a cheerleader as you seem to be. But,
Um, I I don't think I'm necessarily a great cheerleader, um, but I am committed. For the 31 days of this challenge, I'm like, I'm committed to kicking your butt. So,
yeah, that's great. But that's only a part of your forum.
yeah.
Does the rest of your site um, lose out because you're spending so much time in the challenge
Nope.
area?
Nope. I mean, I
Okay.
respond to every thread every day. I respond to every thread that requires my response every day. But
Okay.
it's definitely where the most of the activity is at right now.
Yeah.
Is in there. Oh, the solo masterminds, a lot of the members did join in on the challenge, and so they're all being active. I am releasing it as a self-study course because I know that there are a lot of people that they're just never going to join a challenge, and that's okay. They're more self-directed, intrinsically motivated, and I get that. So I want the self-study course out there, but have I know that some of the magic comes from me being super in their face, pushing, pushing, pushing all the time. But it's it's the tribe that develops. The the diary threads. People pop in on each other's diaries and give them encouragement. And the challenge discussions when we're brainstorming, everyone's a lot of people jump in and really try to be useful to each other, and support each other, clicking through to check out their content, and and that's the magic of being part of any forum community.
Yeah, it is.
If you're trying to build an online business and you're not part of Dennis's forum, you're a nut bar because you can't. You're no matter how you try, you're a little tiny fish in a gigantic ocean. And so you need to come over to Dennis's forum because that's a lake. It's a big lake with big fish in it, but at least then you don't disappear into the mix. You get attention and you can make friends and stretch yourself. Try things out, get feedback, see how it works, and then later you're braver and braver to venture out into the great wide deep. But these kind of forum situations, they give you a place to grow up.
Yeah, they do. I don't remember if for me it was a challenge or not, but my turnaround started. I was long before my forum and long before I wrote my ebook and all that. But I was part of a paid forum, and they were teaching things, and I really wasn't good at them. I had tried them before, and the guy running the forum was somebody who I respected, but he was no genius. He was no, I don't want to name names of gurus, but he was no John Reese or Marvin
Mhm.
Sanders or anybody that you feel is head and shoulders above everybody else, and so far ahead of you as far as experience that it matters. But he was somebody that I could relate to, and I saw what he was doing, and he was he, he was showing us case studies of things that are working for him, and all of a sudden it was like a switch in my head got turned on, and I said, you know what? If he can do that, I can do that. And then
Yeah.
I started, just doing it. And I came out of my shell, and I started telling people about what I was doing and the success I was having, and I was encouraged to write about it, and I did. And one thing led to another, and here I am today, 8 years later or whatever,
Mhm.
teaching other people how to do this and challenging other people how to um, look at me as, or look at Kelly, or look at some of our friends as the people that if they can do it, you can do it. And um, those of you who Kelly's encouraging people to start your own challenges for people that follow you. You may not want to start out by having a forum because that's extra work and extra
Yeah.
expense, and whatever, to set up if you haven't done it before. But um, so a Facebook group would work. But if you have a lot of people, like 100 and some people that Kelly has, she has 70 something active threads, and threads on a Facebook group, get bumped down to the bottom
Yeah.
real quick. If there's 70 of them, you're going to lose track of them. So, and not be able to find the one that you like, or the one that, we won't be able to tell the one that's the most out of date or whatever. So a forum works well in that environment. But then you got more people, and you're probably going to have to charge to have people follow you that way. But you can really make a big influence on somebody's life if you challenge them, and they respond to that, and
Yeah. So my question for our attendees today and those watching later, what do you want to be known for? You know, issuing a challenge on a topic that you want to be known for is a great way to stretch yourself and have more people know you for that. So let's say that you want to really be known for advice on email list building. Maybe you would do a 30-day challenge on writing 30 autoresponders. Add 30 autoresponders to your list, where every day, you write another autoresponder and add it, and you report in. And you can even post your autoresponders for feedback. How do you feel about my call to action? Every topic under the sun could have a challenge added to it. Some of you guys, Dennis, you know who Kristen Eckstein is, right?
yeah, sure.
She's been doing the Kindle in 30 challenge. Hers is wrapping up right now,
Oh
too.
wow, yeah.
This was her second or third time doing the challenge, and it wasn't 300 people. She put 300 people into her challenge, and they all paid between $97 and $297. And it's to write, get a Kindle book ready for publishing in 30 days, and she's had such success with it. She's going to be holding the challenge quarterly in 2015. Now, I promoted her challenge to my people the last time, and some of my people signed up for her challenge, and I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that people who joined her challenge have gone on to buy other products from her and buy her coaching, because I keep getting affiliate notifications. So a challenge is a great way to get people into your funnel, get them to know you, become a habit, and then that leads them on to other purchases.
Pat has a question he's asked. He asked earlier, and Pat, we haven't been ignoring you. Just haven't gotten to a break point yet. But the question is, do you have any tips on how to run a challenge?
Well, there's so many different ways to run them. The simplest being the Facebook group, but you couldn't do what I'm doing in a Facebook group with the diary threads. That would be a hot mess. But the tips is definitely make them pay for access. But if we're going to go all the way to the very beginning, choose something that's keeping people up at night. Choose something that is a common stumbling block early on in the game, and create the challenge around that, because that's going to appeal to the most people. And I just want to mention, it does not have to be a 30-day challenge. It can be a 21-day challenge. It can be a 10-day challenge. It can be a 90-day challenge. So that sounds crazy to me. I know some people who have done that. You can, actually, that's not, I actually did a 90-day challenge. Lynn Terry and I did the 90-day low-carb challenge together. We started a Facebook group, a free Facebook group, to try, come on in and try the low-carb lifestyle for 90 days. Um, I know I'm no longer part of that, but it's grown a massive. I think there's like 10,000 people in that Facebook group now. But that was free. It was a very low risk situation for people to get into. But now she's got, the ability to communicate regularly with 10,000 people. That's nothing to sneeze at. Um,
Yeah,
but so
I seem to remember our friend Connie, Connie Reagan Green, telling me about it. I think you influenced her to do a podcast a week for a year.
yeah, yep,
Yeah, and she did it, right?
yep,
Um,
yep. I said, if you're going to podcast, be consistent. And she said, okay.
Now, some people are able to just be issued a challenge and go off and do it, and some people need a little bit more climbing on their back, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh, Dennis. Connie's a high power lady, and she is very intrinsically motivated. Her motivation comes from inside of her. She's driven. When she sets her mind to do something, she is going to do it. We could all wish to be that personally driven, but without telling a tale out of school, I wanted to, in general terms, tell you about one of my challengers who I did offer an upgrade to private coaching during the challenge. They could pay like $200 more and get a private call with me at the beginning for brainstorming, and then they could ask me questions privately. I wanted to make that available for those people they're just so nervous about letting too many people see what they've got going on. And from the very beginning, this person was terrified to be pushing herself. But you could hear her voice change from the beginning of the call to the end of the call. You could see the strength that was bubbling up in her as she shared her vision and got affirmation of it. And then as she worked through the challenge through this month, she took every piece of feedback and she implemented it. She produced a pretty amazing item of content she's going to be proud to share for a long time to come. And she's just personally grown through so much through the challenge. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting lots of people to issue challenges, to realize there are people out there, they have so much going for them, but they don't believe it. Maybe they've been beat down by people. Maybe they had a mean mom. Maybe they got picked on in school. Maybe they've got a spouse that tells them, that they're an idiot. The world beats people down constantly. And there are people out there that are just waiting for someone to build them up. As rough as I'm being on my challengers right now, like I'm bringing the heat in these final days. Like, no excuses, finish, finish. I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm doing it because I believe in them. And I want to build them up. I want them to rise to the occasion. And they are. Even this one person who came into the situation so shy and scared. She's coming out of the situation realizing she's got massive potential. And you've got people in your business circles that would hire you to coach them if they only believed in themselves. They would buy your products. They would join your memberships if they only believed they could make use of it. So give them a reason to believe in themselves. Kick off a challenge, make it low cost, low risk, but then push, push, push so that they can see for themselves that they've got something awesome to offer the world. And these are people that will become your lifetime customers.
Challenges don't have to be very challenging, right? I mean, you could have something like write a blog post every day for a month or
Mm-hmm.
90 days, or
Mm-hmm.
a little more challenging might be to do a YouTube video every day.
Yeah.
Like you said, write an autoresponder, add an autoresponder to your email list sequence every day.
Yep.
And monetize it, and
Yep.
that will pay huge dividends forever.
Yep.
And just when you're done, you feel so much better about yourself, and after 30 days you've developed a habit, so you're not going to stop after 30 days a lot of times.
Yep.
I did part of my forum. I have a personal challenge section, and I keep preaching to people that one of my favorite stories is about incremental progress, and just take one step forward every day, and I like to inspire people to do something towards that challenge, or whatever you want to call it, whatever they want to call it, every day. Might be to I mean, you might not be able to write a Kindle book you might not think you can write a Kindle book that quick, or a novel that quick, but can you write 500 words a day? Or you can spend 30 minutes a day doing it. Maybe it's 500 words, maybe it's 1,000 words, and let's say you were able to write 1,000 words a day for 30 days. I mean, that's 30,000 words. That's a decent sized book.
Yeah.
And then you put it up on Kindle, and you start making money, and then you start working on your next book.
Yep.
I've been following this guy on Kindle that I just listened to an audio interview about him yesterday, and his success started when he decided to sit down and challenge himself to do one Kindle book a month. And he said, Kindle books are going to be about 12,000 to 15,000 words. Now, this was a couple years ago, and now he's got around 30 books or so on his catalog, and he's making, he says, and I believe him because the sales rankings show it. He's making between $45,000 and $60,000 a month just on Kindle, and this is just selling books that are 99 cents to $2.99, and he's selling like 25,000 of them a month. And this is in our niche in internet marketing and personal development or whatever, and and he never considered himself a writer before he decided to just sit down and write. So from small acorns, large oak trees can grow, or whatever the saying is.
Mm-hmm.
And it all starts with a challenge. And if you have people following you, like Kelly does, and like I do, to a lesser degree, if you were to challenge people, I'm talking to the listeners here, to do great things, they're going to remember you as being maybe a turning point in their life, or their career, or their business, or their income. If you made things better for them and their family, and they can do that famous 4-hour work week that Tim Ferriss talks about, or whatever. I mean, that can be something major.
We all have to put ourselves in situations that make us uncomfortable, and every now and then, so that we can go to the next level. We need we need to be pushed, and
right.
and so you need it, your people need it, and I just want to encourage you to go for it. I think some people think, well, don't I have to have like so big of a list or so much reputation before I could do something like that? And yeah, I mean, if nobody knows who you are, it's kind of hard to issue a challenge. But you can issue a challenge to who you do know. You don't have to aim for 100 people in your first challenge. My first challenge, I think there's maybe 20, 25 people, 30 people that got involved that first time. Now, next time, my next challenge is in April 2014. I want 500 people.
Wow.
I I want huge, huge, huge response. Of course I do. But that's, uh, I'll aim for that, and wherever I land, I'm sure I'll be just thrilled to pieces. But I just want growth. That's what, incremental growth. I always want to be moving up.
Yeah.
I never move up as fast as I hope, but I always move up. So,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when we started this chat about the fact that I'll sometimes and way too often find myself stagnating, um, because I get complacent with things that I have. I don't have any back against the wall motivating, bills over my head, mortgage to pay, or you know, emergency situations, and I'm happy and things are going great, but um, deep down inside, I'm not really thrilled with the fact that I couldn't do better and I couldn't help
mhm.
more people, or I couldn't, you know,
Well, you know, um, well, in the church, they say if you believe you have a life-changing message, how dare you keep it to yourself?
right?
The same is so true for us in this online marketing world. Um, we have we can show people how to make an income while living a life that makes them happy. You know, so much of my business over the last 12 years, because of my online business, I've been able to. My son's 24 now, he's all grown up, but I was able to homeschool my son as a single parent because I worked at home full time. Later after that, I was able to flip my schedule upside down and do a year of working only 4 hours a day so that I could help my niece raise her quadruplet babies. So I did the night shift with the babies. My son and I both did the night shift with the babies so that they could sleep and maintain some level of sanity while those babies were learning how to sleep through the night. I could never have done that with a regular job, you know. My my mother passed away a few years ago. My stepdad has no children and he's all alone, and every Tuesday we have breakfast or lunch together. And I never have to say no, I can't make it because I have to work. My schedule is my own, and so the people in my life get to be precious priorities because of this business. I want that for everyone. And Dennis, at your event, Matson, shared his personal experience with growing the Amazon business.
Hmm.
And he gives you all the credit for opening his eyes to potential possibilities and introducing him to, what he learned from. And just think if you weren't who you are, and Matson had never read your $5 a day book and never came to one of your events and never learned, you know, he sure wouldn't be standing up in front of a group announcing, that he's knocking down six figures from home, finally happy with life again.
That was
Not
six
that,
figures a month too, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, not a year. It was a
yeah.
month.
Not that money equals happiness, but money rescued him from a pit,
Yeah,
and it's because he met you. We do have a life-changing message. We have a message of hope that people need. And so for us to ever get stagnant and to stop being excited about sharing that would be such a shame. So I'm glad we all spur each other on.
yeah. When I'm sorry I wasn't there to talk to Matson in person. He's been to, I think, just about all of my seminars, but so I met him, but I didn't realize that I had an effect on him, and I really can't take credit for his success at all, but if he wants to give it to me, I'll take it. And maybe there's somebody else out there that thinks that I might have helped him, and that's great. But sometimes it doesn't take much to uh, to have an effect on somebody. Like I said, when I was just starting, just watching a guy, and he didn't even know I was watching him. He didn't know that he was my mentor, and when I said to myself, if he can do that, I can do that. That's when things turned around for me, and I told him many times over the years since that he really made a difference, and
Yep.
so Kelly, you've made a difference in people, and that you don't even know, you don't even know their names possibly, but yeah, so.
Pat Pat's getting impatient for some more meat on challenges.
Yeah, go ahead. If you see his question, go ahead.
Pat,
Um,
you asked about upsells during the challenge or at the end. So what I did when I rolled out the challenge, as I mentioned, um, it was you could join the challenge for one price or you could upgrade for private coaching. Spend $200 more for private access. But that was only limited, that was only available for 1 week at the beginning of the challenge. And then that opportunity went away. All through the challenge, I emphasized that my greatest hope was that the people who weren't already solo masterminds members, that they would become so addicted to the forum that they would want to join the membership. So I have emphasized that constantly, um, encouraging them to use their DARE discount to get into the membership at a lower price. Now that we're at the very end, I am promoting a Stretch Yourself Masterclass. I'm saying to the group, if you have loved this motivation, if you want to keep the momentum you've got going and take it even higher, I'm offering this masterclass, which is a 6-month commitment where you get to keep access to your diary and weekly mastermind calls with me and Phaedra. Phaedra is a life coach. She's been the official life coach of the challenge. That brings up a really good point about getting other people to help you with your challenge. I invited a gal to come in and be my hangout expert, and I invited Phaedra to be the official life coach. I invited Lane Amon to come in and talk about productivity. I invited Paul Taubman to come in and answer WordPress questions. So I highlighted some people and gave them an opportunity to look like a rock star and help my people. And Phaedra, the life coach, turned out to have been really incredible, because as people stretch and they hit that upper level that they've never been at before, they start to deal with personal issues. And she's been there to help them through that. So we're doing this next level masterclass together. So they're going to pay way more than they paid for the challenge. It's $197 a month for 6 months if they sign up by Sunday night. After that, it's $297 a month for 6 months. And I believe we're going to fill it. We've put a hard cap of 12 people on that. And they can use their percentage DARE to save money on it, but it's a big commitment. But it's a mastermind with ongoing forum private coaching assistance from Phaedra and I. Oops, Dennis, I can't hear you.
Oops,
There
sorry,
you are.
I had myself muted. While you were talking, I displayed that link that you had given me before. That's not what you're talking about, the 297 or whatever,
No,
197.
that's only available to the challengers. But what's the stretch? If what I've talked about with the Stretch Yourself Challenge sounds really cool to you, you can buy the self-study course. You can pre-order it right now. So you'll get access to the complete book with all the case studies when it'll be ready. If you pre-order now, you can save quite a bit of money. And there's an option. You can pre-order it, the digital copy, and save a lot of money, or you could actually order a hard copy. I'm doing a limited edition, limited print run. If you go for that, it's much more expensive, but it includes access to the next challenge in April. So that's what, if somebody's just really interested in what we did and wants to participate in the next one.
Okay, we got a couple sort of long questions here. Crystal, I would love to hold a challenge. For 2+ years, I was a volunteer mentor in a 21-day challenge success forum, and I positively loved it. Amazing things happen in those challenges for both the challengers, like Lynn Terry, and the mentors. The forum closed many years ago, and I would love to share my passion for supporting others again. It was so fun and rewarding. Someone said that they are not big enough, and I can relate, but perhaps one may be able to create a win-win opportunity with an existing forum group owner.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's not really a question, but
Crystal, what would you like to help people with? What do you believe you have to offer others? And Rick, you're so funny. Well, we're not very focused today, but I think we are. But the rabbit trails are just about the excitement. You've got something to share, and some people really need to hear it again and again to get it. So I hope you don't mind that we want to do that to really make an impact on everybody. So Rick says, I'm currently making a challenge to my Law of Attraction group to take action and comment on questions I'm asking. That you're challenging them to communicate with you. That's funny. That sounds like you're asking them to do something for you. Where the challenge that I'm talking about is getting people to do something for themselves. I hope that's clear. As I was jotting down, a couple of notes yesterday, Dennis, I thought, oh my goodness, should this become a product?
yeah.
A whole product on how to run a challenge. But there's so many different ways to do it. I don't know if I really feel qualified to create a product about it. I can only show people what I did, which is what we did here
Well,
today.
that could be a product. Rick followed up. He says he was personally not focused. He wasn't
Oh,
saying
all
that
right.
you weren't. Uh,
Okay,
it
cool.
means he's maybe multitasking today while listening to you.
Cool. So Crystal hasn't responded yet, but Crystal, if there's something that, if like with my challenge, I brought in a WordPress pro, a Hangout pro, a productivity pro, and a life coach. And so, what would you bring to the table? I bet you there are people that you could partner with. You could reach out to someone and say, I'd love to bring this particular expertise to your group. Is there a way that I could assist you with some sort of challenge? I think you should definitely put the idea out there to someone. The next time I run my challenge, Phaedra will still be the official life coach, because we've just discovered we work really, really good tag teaming our business and life coaching. But I'll have different expertises represented next time. I won't have a Hangout expert, I may have a list building expert or a sales copy expert. That would be really awesome. A really great copywriter would be an awesome asset to my challenge. So go for it. Partner, reach out to somebody.
So let me ask you this, Kelly. If you had 100 people in your challenge at what you said, $47.
Between 47 and 97.
Okay, so I don't know, probably most of them got in at 47, right?
Yeah.
So that wasn't a lot of money
Yeah.
for a month of your time, and bringing all these outside experts and whatever. It's not like somebody that's just starting at a lower level right now would make their fortune doing this. If you only had 20 or 30 people, or even fewer, what's in it for people that are doing this, other than making a difference in somebody's life, maybe?
Well, that's it. I think well, I make money from everything I do, but I get more satisfaction from changing lives. Um, I'm my brain kind of went somewhere else with
Yeah. So
um,
so what I'm getting at is the $5,000 or $6,000, whatever you took in for people joining this challenge, isn't going to change your lifestyle at all.
right,
What
right,
you're committed to doing a lot of work for the
yeah,
month.
yeah,
For that amount of money.
yep. After paying affiliates, it's closer to about probably about $2,500 that I might have profited directly from challenge income. Um, but they'll become solo. A lot of them will become solo mastermind members, and a lot of them will use their coupons and continue to buy things from me. I have a very rich offer funnel. I have several products and they lead from one to another, and they all ultimately lead to the potential of hiring me as a business coach. So if you look at the offer funnel where, the things that are for free are at the top and things that are low cost, mid cost, high cost, the challenge is really, it's low cost, compared to like coaching with me. If you come coach with me for 100 days, it's going to be $2,500. So spending 47 or 97 on the challenge is a low cost thing. But it brought you into my funnel where you get offered lots of other things, 47, 27, 67, 97, join solo masterminds, you know, participate in something else, join a mastermind group, attend one of my live events, you know, and then that doesn't even touch on all the affiliate marketing I do when I recommend other people. Um, so yeah, the challenge itself is not a cash cow in any way.
Right. So somebody that wants to maybe start a challenge, they should probably think about what else they can offer to people that
Yeah.
they're going to be influencing, and that um, you get them to know, like, and trust you because you're the cheerleader or the inspiration
Yeah.
for them to complete this challenge and go on to bigger and better things. And then what are they going to do? They're going to go away and buy lots of other stuff and coaching from other people, or are you going to have something for them to now that they like you and trust you, um,
Yeah.
um, you're going to have something else for them to uh, to offer them also
Yeah.
in your funnel, and
The
that's
immediate the immediate upsell into the master class, um, if we fill it with 12 people, that's about $12,000. Phaedra and I will split that. So, it'd be about $6,000 each. Um, Again, that's still not a cash cow, but working with people who are highly motivated is exciting. It's stimulating. It boosts me and pays me in other ways. Um, but um, it's what happens after they're in my funnel. It's the ongoing active income stream of all the other products that I worked on last year and the year before that continue to sell. It's when I do something like this and make an extra 2,500, that's nice. I mean, I enjoy the 2,500. I did, when I say work hard, it's still not, we're talking about maybe an hour or so a day. We're still not talking, I'm not like living on the forum. Um, but it's all those other sales that will come in. The more people I can bring into the funnel, the better my funnel operates. And so if you don't have other products for people to buy, a challenge is a lot of work for not a lot of money. So it's always about your overall offer funnel to develop it smartly so that people have a way to keep saying yes to you. Pat asked about what did I pay the other experts? Nothing. Nothing at all. The Hangout expert had just created her first Hangout product. She gave it to all of my challengers for free, and she did Q&A with the challengers. So she got paid nothing, gave everything, but she didn't have a tribe of her own. So she came in, she got to be part of my tribe, and she's walking away with buku confidence in herself and boatloads of testimonials. So it was a win-win for her.
Yeah, that's good.
And Phaedra promoted her coaching services. And so I've had lots of my tribe members hire her as a life coach. And I got no part of that. She gave herself freely to my tribe for a whole month. And so she offered a discount to them to work with her. And so that, I didn't ask for her to like consider me as an affiliate or anything. We JV'd freely back and forth with that. So they did it for the exposure and being able to be, a respected member of my tribe.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people don't mind doing that at all. That they just want to feel part of somebody else successful. I mean, when I went to David Perdue's NAMS conference, it was amazing to me from being someone else who runs a seminar, how many people he had helping him there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, but I don't think he's paying those people.
Nobody
Yeah.
gets paid.
Yeah, they just want to be part of it, and they just, they like being, front and center of somebody that's really doing a good job.
Yeah.
Veronica said she'd buy the product about how to run a challenge.
I'll have to keep that in mind, Veronica.
Yeah. What else we have here? Pat says, what percentage did you pay the other extra? Okay, you answered that already.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. And it did work out well for them. Phaedra made a really great offer for some personal coaching, and she had quite a few people take her up on it. And before, like only 2 weeks into the challenge, she already had one of those clients upgrade into her VIP. So it worked really well for her. Dennis, we come and speak at your event for free.
Yep.
Because we get to bring people into the top of our funnel when they hear us speak. Anything to widen the top of a funnel is good for me. It's the same thing, as far as like somebody being an expert, guest expert in a challenge or guest expert in a telesummit or a product or an event. They're all doing it for the exposure.
Yep. Yeah, when I first started doing my first seminar, I couldn't fathom why somebody would be willing to pay their travel expenses and hotel and meals and whatever and speak and give away all their trade secrets and whatever and not want anything for it. And, I've done 6 of them now, and I've never had a lack of really great speakers. And it really makes me feel good.
Your last event, I've just kind of fallen in love with Las Vegas. I'm not a gambler. I haven't even been to a show yet, but I just love Las Vegas. I love the food. But yeah, participating in the last event, it's not even about just getting exposed to your people there. It's being able to crow about it to my list and on social media. That, hey, I'm speaking at Dennis Becker's event. It raises it raises people's opinions of me to be able to say that I'm doing that. And because I was there that weekend, I was able to put some people into my coaching. And so I definitely made back more than enough to cover my travel and hotel and all of that.
That's great.
And I took my son and she became his fiance there. They got engaged while we were there in Vegas. So we turned it into a trip, a fun trip on top of a business trip.
Well, geez, the Tuscany Hotel there has a wedding chapel. Why didn't they just get married right there?
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay. What else do we have? I think that's about it as far as questions. Um, Kelly, any last remarks? If not, I really appreciate you spending the time here. It took a little bit longer than you thought it would take when I asked you yesterday how long do you think it'll go, and you said 20 or 30 minutes, and here we are, like an hour 15. So that always happens.
Yeah, well, a little chatty, just a little chatty.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, thanks for having me, Dennis. This is just a fun topic to talk about. I hope everybody is jotting down their ideas and gonna dig into planning a challenge.
Do you want to explain a little bit more about that workbook?
Yeah, I mean, you guys, if you need more people to know who you are, what you do, and what you want them to do about it, that's what the Stretch Yourself Challenge is about. It's a content marketing challenge. The I'm polishing the workbook, adding case studies, and it's going to be released in December. So you're pre-ordering it now to get it at a discount. And if you upgrade to the print version, I'll hand sign it for you and give you access to the April challenge. If you want to join in, you won't have to pay anything else. You'll already have access to it. So check it out. Come have fun with us if you would
Uh,
like to.
I may have to join that myself.
You'd be welcome.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
You want to come be one of my experts?
I don't know if I could qualify to be an expert on something that you don't already have an expert on.
I think we might be able to think of something.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know what you need. I wouldn't mind doing that.
Alrighty. Awesome.
Okay. Um, okay. Again, thanks, Kelly. Thanks everybody for being with us today live, and those of you that are listening to us in the recording, which will be up on the website weeklywebchat.com. We'll have this one up. Google Hangouts automatically uploads the recording to YouTube very quickly after this is done. So within the hour, I think, it should have the recording up on the website if you want to send your friends to watch it. If you were impressed with Kelly, send people to watch it. And also the prior weeks that we've had are all archived there also. So bookmark that site, and there's no charge to use it, and having a lot of fun with these. And I'm not sure if we have one next week or not. I don't have anybody scheduled right now, but maybe I'll find somebody that wants to talk between now and then. We have a couple more in the weeks following. So okay, no more questions. Some thank yous. Great info, Kelly. So thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it, and I'll let you go.
You're
And
welcome.
thanks everybody for tuning in.
Have a
Bye.
great day. Bye.